Thomas and Chloe were the couple everyone envied. From high school sweethearts to a power couple in their late 20s, their love story seemed like something out of a movie. Thomas, a kind-hearted and dedicated software engineer, adored Chloe. He supported her through law school, celebrated every one of her successes, and believed their future was written in the stars. He trusted her with his whole heart, a trust that was as deep and unwavering as the ocean. But oceans have hidden currents, and people have hidden secrets. The first crack in their perfect world appeared subtly. Chloe started working late more often. Her phone, once left casually on the coffee table, was now always in her pocket or face down. When Thomas asked, she'd laugh it off, blaming her demanding job at the prestigious law firm she'd just joined. He wanted to believe her, so he did. He'd make her dinner, wait up for her, and try to soothe her stress. He was the perfect, supportive partner. The whispers started soon after. A mutual friend mentioned seeing Chloe's car parked outside a fancy downtown hotel during work hours. Another saw her laughing intimately with a man at a bar, a man who was definitely not Thomas. Each time, Thomas defended her, his loyalty a shield against the mounting doubt. He confronted her once, his voice trembling. Chloe's reaction was a masterclass in manipulation. Tears welled up in her eyes as she accused him of being insecure and not trusting her after all they'd been through. She made him feel guilty for even asking, so Thomas apologized, burying his fears and doubling down on his trust. The breaking point came on their 8th anniversary. Thomas had planned a surprise romantic getaway to the very cabin where he first told her he loved her. He'd spent weeks preparing, even getting a custom-made necklace with a charm for every year they'd been together. He came home early from work, flowers in hand, ready to surprise her. But the surprise was on him. He walked into their bedroom to find it empty. A notification pinged on her laptop, which she'd left open on the bed. It was an email from a travel agency, confirming a booking for 2 to Paris. The name next to hers wasn't his. It was Daniel, a senior partner at her firm. The dates were for the upcoming weekend, their anniversary weekend. Suddenly, all the late nights, the secretive phone calls, and the whispered rumors clicked into place like a key in a lock, opening a door to a reality he'd refused to see. His world didn't just crack, it shattered. The pain was a physical thing, a crushing weight on his chest that made it hard to breathe. He sat on the edge of the bed, the flowers wilting in his hand, and stared at the screen. The man who had been so full of love and trust was gone, replaced by a hollow shell of betrayal. He didn't cry, he didn't rage. A cold, chilling calm washed over him. He closed the laptop. Over the next few days, Thomas was a ghost in his own home. He played the part of the loving boyfriend, all while a storm of calculation brewed inside him. He used his skills as a software engineer to do some digging. It didn't take long. He found their secret emails, their dinner reservations, the chat logs filled with words of affection that were once reserved for him. Daniel was married with 2 kids. This wasn't just a betrayal. It was a tangled web of deceit. Thomas found Daniel's wife, Sarah, on social media. Her profile was a picture of a happy family, exactly the kind of image Chloe and Daniel were trampling on. He saw pictures of their kids, smiling and innocent. The anger he felt now wasn't just for himself, but for them, for this unsuspecting family. His plan began to solidify. It wasn't going to be loud or explosive. It was going to be precise, clinical, and devastating. The day before their anniversary, Chloe was buzzing with excitement. She told Thomas a lie about a last-minute work conference she had to attend over the weekend. She packed her best dresses, her new lingerie, and a bottle of expensive perfume. Thomas watched her, a sad smile playing on his lips. "Have a great trip, honey," he said, kissing her forehead. "Work hard." The irony was so thick he could taste it. As soon as Chloe left for the airport, Thomas put his plan into motion. He packaged everything he had found, the emails, the hotel receipts, the chat logs, even screenshots of Chloe's lies about her work trip. He compiled it all into a neat, undeniable dossier of infidelity. He created 2 packages. One was for Sarah, Daniel's wife. The other was for the managing partners of Chloe's law firm, a firm that prided itself on its family values and ethical standards. But he saved the masterstroke for last. Chloe was obsessed with her social media image. Her online persona was that of a driven, successful, and deeply in love woman. She often posted pictures of herself and Thomas, with gushing captions about her rock. Thomas had the passwords to all her accounts. She'd given them to him years ago in a show of total transparency. While Chloe and Daniel were 30,000 feet in the air, sipping champagne on their way to Paris, Thomas executed the final step. He drafted a long, heartfelt post, started with a beautiful picture of him and Chloe. The caption began, "8 years ago, I fell in love with this woman. Today, I learned what a lie those 8 years have been." He then methodically laid out the entire story, attaching a few key pieces of evidence. He tagged Chloe, Daniel, the law firm, and even a few local news outlets. And for good measure, he sent a group text to their entire circle of friends and family with a link to the post. Then, he turned off his phone, packed a single bag, and left the home they had built together. He didn't look back. The fallout was nuclear. By the time Chloe and Daniel landed in Paris and turned on their phones, their worlds were on fire. Chloe's phone exploded with notifications. Daniel's situation was even worse. His wife, Sarah, had received her package. She immediately filed for divorce, ensuring the proceedings would be as public and messy as possible. The law firm, facing a public relations nightmare, suspended both Chloe and Daniel pending an internal investigation, which was really just a formality before firing them. Their romantic getaway to Paris turned into a frantic, panicked nightmare. They were trapped in the most romantic city in the world, with the ruins of their lives smoldering back home. They turned on each other, the affair's thrill replaced by bitter accusations and regret. The trip was cut short. They flew back separately, not as lovers, but as co-conspirators in their own downfall. Chloe returned to an empty apartment and a life in shambles. She lost her job, her reputation, and the respect of everyone she knew. She tried to reach Thomas, but he had vanished. It changed his number and disappeared. She was left alone with the consequences of her choices. As for Thomas, he didn't feel the triumphant satisfaction he thought he would. The revenge was hollow. It didn't heal the wound of betrayal. It just confirmed how deep it was. He wasn't the same trusting, wide-eyed man he used to be. The affair had carved something out of him, leaving a scar that would never fully fade. But in time, he learned to live with it, found new hobbies, made new friends, and slowly, carefully, began to trust again, starting with himself. The revenge hadn't been about winning. It had been about taking back control. It was a declaration that he would no longer be a victim of someone else's lies. He had closed a painful chapter of his life, not by forgetting it, but by writing its final definitive ending himself. He was changed forever, yes, but he was also free.